Welcome to Primos for Life, the wrestling podcast made for the fans, by the fans. Como siempre, yo soy Eddie, el niño vaque. We got Ariel, the Ecuadorian dream bisueta, and we are your self-proclaimed, undisputed co-host tag team champions of the world. And in tonight's episode, we're joined by one of Tampa's most unapologetic rising stars on the independent scene. Known as the dirtiest man in pro wrestling, he got the grit, the attitude, and something to prove. We got Dirty Devin Diaz. So, como siempre, sit back, grab a snack, and let's get it on! Dirty Devin Diaz in the house. Senor, let me just start off by saying, welcome to Primos for Life. ¿Cómo estás? How are you, sir?
Man, I want to thank you guys for having me, and I'm doing great. How are y'all doing today, man?
Awesome, brother. Awesome. Yeah, we just hyped.
Well,
We're excited.
well, man. Yeah, very excited. Very excited. Absolutely. Eddie's been talking about you for a hot minute, so like I feel like I already kind of know you, but this is going to be absolutely fantastic, brother. Thank you for taking time out of your day. It's one thing I always like to do is, especially when it comes to talent, because we know your schedule can be very hectic and very crazy. So thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to give us just a little bit and kind of let our listeners know, you know, what goes on behind, because that's what Eddie and I love to do here is we like to pull the curtain back and let our primos and primas, who are our listeners, know that it's not just the personas in the ring, to get to know the people outside. So once again, thank you for coming on and for giving us your time and sitting down with us. It's greatly appreciated.
Very excited.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Yeah. And, you know, just to kind of add on to what Ariel just said, I'm hyped because I get the honor and the privilege of actually seeing you work here. See, like being that I'm local here in Florida, when I go to these shows, whether it be the CCWs or out in Clearwater or any other, independent event that I see you, POW, that's another example there. The work that you do in the ring, man, I mean, you are such a storyteller. When I see how you portray your character and how it's like game face, man, you sell everything that you do, whether it's a look, it's a taunt, it's a move. I mean, one of my favorite matches that I was able to see, and another primo of ours on the, from the show, with Rose, I was able to catch that show out in Clearwater when that little, WrestleCon, expo was happening that weekend. And I was able to catch your match with him. And I was like, yo, like, what are we doing? These guys are incredible. Like, why are they not like, on television right now? Because again, the presentation was superb. And that's what I'm excited to, give Ariel the opportunity to learn more about you. And then, like you said, have our primos and primas learn so much more about you. So I'll quit babbling. You're the man. I'm just excited. Ariel, let Devin know the rundown, how we do things here in Primos for Life.
Devin, real quick, we always do what we call our staple question sandwich. We start with the same question and finish with the same question. All of our interviews, talent, referees, fans, whatever. So everything else in between, Eddie and I are going to go back and forth. Typical interview. So easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yeah.
But before we start, Eddie, I want to thank you, man, because, I know that, what's his name? Rose, he was on your podcast and he said that I kind of helped guide him. Now, what's hilarious is that Rose is much older than me. I'm only 25. But I can see that he wanted to do it, and I can see that he was like aggressively trying to learn. And so I just figured that I would help him the best I could with what I kind of know and was able to guide him. But with that match, I mean, my whole goal of that match was to make him look as good as possible.
Oh.
And so I appreciate that. And then the fact that you basically were saying that I'm good with my theatrics. Well, that's my favorite part of the business. I might look tough, but my favorite part of the business is the theatrics.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean,
it's good,
I mean, it's okay. So it's like, but I know a lot of times when I like get excited about things like that, people think I'm just like blowing smoke, but no, it's like, I love storytelling. And I think you are able to tell a story in every single aspect, from the moment that you walk out on the curtain to the moment those boots hit the mat, to the first lockup, to the finisher move. It's like incredible. Like shout outs to you and shout outs to Rose, because Rose does incredible work too. But I think, I mean, even the look, I mean, we were just talking about this before we started recording. I was like, the look, man, like, how did you land on that? Like, I mean, we're gonna get into these questions, but I mean, that alone, I'm just like, who is this guy? I need to talk to this guy. We need to talk to this man. So my bad.
Absolutely, yeah.
Go ahead, Primo. Rock it.
All right.
Let's do this.
All right. So our first question is one of our staples. We ask, everybody, and the answer always kind of varies. What is your first memory of wrestling? Be it a special match, a pay-per-view, just kind of like, because Eddie he said that his is when Kane debuted against The Undertaker at the end of Undertaker's match. I forget what PPV was that, Eddie.
With First Blood in your house, Taker versus Shawn,
like
and then
mine was
debuted.
Kane's debut. Mine was, I just remember watching Lucha Libre, in the living room with my grandfather when I was 4 years old. Like, so was there something in particular that you remember, specific match, something like that, where you watched it and you were like, oh, wow, this is fantastic? Like,
I remember being young, probably 6 or 7, maybe 5. And I was in a 2-bedroom apartment with my mom and my 2 sisters. My sister shared a room. I'm setting the whole thing.
Yeah,
My sisters
we want the
my
story.
sister shared a room. I slept in my parents' room. We were in Danville, Indiana, which at the time
Mhm.
probably had the cheapest rent in the state of Indiana, which is part of the reason we were over there. And
Yeah.
we I just remember being told that I couldn't watch wrestling because growing up I was quite the aggressive kid. I got in trouble a lot for fighting. So I remember that
Wow.
I couldn't watch wrestling, but my mom had let me watch SmackDown one time, and I want to say it was Kane versus Rey Mysterio on a SmackDown.
Oh, wow.
And I remember watching it and just really thinking, "Oh, this is awesome." But I wasn't the biggest fan past age 9. I actually fell out of wrestling and didn't get back into wrestling until about senior year of high school, freshman year of college.
Mm.
Yeah, it
Wow.
seems like that happens to a lot of people where there's just a little gap in time, and then somehow you just get back into it and you realize why you loved it in the first place.
Yeah.
I fell out of it because I began amateur wrestling and playing football. And so there just wasn't enough time to make it back from the both practices to go watch wrestling and stuff, to go watch pro wrestling, that is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a commitment, 2-3 hour shows. Yeah, you need
Absolutely.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, well, actually, so like you mentioned something really good, and I'm gonna throw this in there like a side question. So you said you fell out of wrestling because you obviously sports took up a lot of your time, but then you said you got pulled back in. What was the thing that pulled you back in?
Honestly, I remember that I just had a friend that had the WWE Network pass, and I was in a group chat, and he had just randomly dropped it, like, if any of you want to watch it. And I went back and watched all the stuff I went to as a kid because my dad used to get free tickets through his company. So I actually went to SummerSlam as a kid in
Nice.
Indianapolis. And
Nice.
I mean, obviously, it was awesome at the time, but it was shortly after I was already out of wrestling. But I remember my dad bought me the Jeff Hardy sleeves, and
Mhm.
it was quite the argument in the house because my mom was like, "We don't have enough money to drop $45 on Jeff Hardy sleeves."
Yeah.
But they're Jeff Hardy sleeves, Mom. They're Jeff Hardy sleeves.
And I still have them.
Nice.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh.
Nice.
All right. So then, okay, Devin. So then, moving on to the next question, when did you realize that this wasn't just something that, you wanted to do, but you had to do, you know what I mean? Because that's a huge jump from being a novice fan to falling out of love with it to jumping back in, but now you jump back in a different way and now you're doing it. What was the thing that clicked in your mind that like, yeah, not only am I going to do this, but I have to do this?
There was, like, multiple weird steps, like, I remember I was wrestling in college, and there was another guy who's on the pro wrestling scene, but he's since I don't see him around anymore, but he went by the name Tex McTex, and he also wrestled in college with me, and he used to watch Ric Flair promos and stuff, and I just thought it was cool, and I'd sit there and watch it with him, and I thought, "Oh, man, like, this would be cool. This sounds like an awesome job." But then also, shortly after, I hated wrestling in college, and I hated going to college, and so I've like much young athletic men, I fell into nightlife and fell into bouncing. And one night I was bouncing and someone's like, "You look like one of those WWE guys." And then it clicked. But then I thought, really do I then I really back and forth, am I gonna do it? Am I not gonna do it? And then I came across Jim Cornette's podcast because if it were not for shoot interviews and podcasts, I wouldn't be doing it
Oh,
because the shoot
wow.
interviews are hilarious. They're
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
And so basically I came across Cornette's podcast and just thought the guy was hilarious, and I would just listen to it while I worked out during COVID. And the next thing you know, I paid Jay Lethal tuition to be a professional wrestler.
Oof.
Oh, so you
Nice.
studied with under Jay Lethal?
Correct.
Nah, oh man.
Wow.
Jay
Yeah.
Lethal, Connor, and a local gentleman named David Mercury. But I've been blessed to be trained by a lot of people.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's
Man.
awesome. That's great.
It's
That's
such a
great.
humbling answer. That's like so cool.
So, Dirty Devin Diaz.
That's me.
Yes. The name, the persona. How far is it from you as a person in real life, and how did it come about, if there is a major difference?
It's more close than I would like to admit. There's definitely parts that are absolutely amplified, but the attitude of the stuff I say in my promos, and I'm very transparent in my promos. I got in this business to make money. That's the truth. That was the driving factor, is to make money. But you know, I was told, you're a bartender. I also work in the bar industry, so you know, a lot of it was people that I saw that I would pick these little characteristics from, and then I just added them to myself and would
Mm.
watch movies and try to connect myself. It was quite the process, connecting myself with the character, seeing characteristics that I shared with the character, and then amplifying them within Dirty Devin Diaz. So it's not entirely far off from the man, that's for sure.
That's great that you were able to use an amalgam of different things from different people that you would see and kind of incorporate that in and fine tune and hone those things. I mean, that's
Just outside, sorry to cut you off.
no,
I
you're good.
apologize. Just the only difference is, like, outside of being Dirty Devin is, like, I do my best to be a nice, polite guy when I'm not performing in this.
You're a sweetheart, bro. You got this. Okay, so then, you know, let's jump back into training, right? Like let's take us back to the first day, right? Um, what was that experience like for you, you know, walking into a training facility and you know, getting ready to take your first bumps and, you know, run the ropes and all these things. And for lack of a better way of saying it, was it a humbling experience for you, or do you feel like, you know, it was something else?
Uh, Man, that's quite the question. I could just give you the experience. I remember I walked in and everybody congregated and sat together, and I sat alone. And I sat alone on purpose because I knew that it was me that worked 3 jobs to save for tuition, and I knew that looking around that a lot of people weren't gonna last. So I knew that I had this, you know, tunnel vision on, and the goal was to get trained and get to work. I remember the first day that we walked in, um, that we were allowed into the ring. Someone said that it was Connor from the Ascension. He said, "You guys should really take time to soak this in because this is the first step towards your dream." Unfortunately, I didn't have the guts to speak up then, but I was already well past that. I thought that they were going to try to like make us do a bunch of blow up drills and make us quit and stuff. So when other people were quote unquote like, I hate to say this, marking out, and were like, "Oh, I get to do it," I had my
Right.
game face on, and I was there to be the best in the class.
Yeah,
I
Wow.
I mean,
approached wrestling with a hostile takeover. I didn't come here to take part, came here to take over.
Yeah, I could tell, bro.
that's dope. That's dope. Oh man. Oh, I want to put that on a shirt. Please tell me you have that on a shirt somewhere. If not, you need
It's
to.
soon to
I
come
came
out.
here to take over.
Well, that's great. I mean, the tunnel vision that you had, because like you said, you got in for the money. So you knew deep down, you know, 3 jobs, growing up the way you did, you know, like having to just living the 2 bedrooms with your sisters and everything. Like this was what you wanted to do. You knew you had to be 100% focused. So that to be able to have that is, you know, so I mean, because how old were you when this happened?
I was 20 when I walked in,
Yeah,
20 years
20.
old.
So at the age of 20 to have that level of maturity, to
Yeah.
think of all the dumb things I did at 20 and didn't have any of the foresight to do something like that, like, is amazing, man. So kudos to you, brother. Kudos
I
to
mean,
you.
yeah, 20-year-olds are dumb no matter what. No matter how mature, you're still 20 years old.
But there's those moments. You have moments.
Yeah, but you locked
All right.
in. I mean, that's the important part. You were like,
Yeah.
"I'm here.
And I mean,
Let's
and look
get
where
it."
you are now. I mean, it's fantastic. That's
Yeah.
great.
It's been a
So,
bumpy ride.
yeah, that's what we keep hearing. I mean, you're telling me it's not very easy? We figured it was, you know, a walk in the park. Like,
Well, that's what keeps wrestling schools open. People think it's easy.
there you go.
Oh,
Oh man.
man.
All right. So Devin, as currently constituted today, what would you say is the part of wrestling that you are the most confident in? Would you say it's your promos, your in-ring work, the psychology of wrestling? To your point, is it the acting part? Like, what would you say you're most confident in today?
I wish I could tell you I lacked confidence in any aspect of it.
Nice.
All right, but I mean, did you if you had to pick one, like that you could, tweak a little bit, what would it be?
Um, I I mean, I wish that I nothing, man. I love my own act.
Okay, we'll
You know
take
what?
it. You know what? At least you tried.
That's an honest answer. You saw the wheels turning. That's an honest answer, and I dig it because that's just someone who's confident and full on and like, no, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be and how I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we respect that. All right. So let's keep it
I
rolling.
can tell
then.
you what I wasn't good at first. I wasn't good at cutting promos.
Oh, okay.
All right. So
So
how
I
did you
became
improve?
obsessed.
How did you improve on doing? Just kept watching like other promos, or did you go to like an acting class or something? Or
No acting class. I watched a bunch of promos, and like I told you, a bunch of movies, and I also to me, wrestling's like we're playing people's heartstrings.
Yeah.
To me, it's nothing but trying to draw emotion from people. So I really would listen to a lot of music and figure out how to strike a chord whenever I was speaking, almost through the singer. Like I said, really connecting my heart and syncing my heart with what I'm listening to or what I'm watching, and then slowly but surely, I just start to work on a different cadence. And even then, my promos aren't as good as I want them to be. I'm just not confident that I cut a better promo than 99% of people in the professional wrestling world.
Oof.
But it's just
man, I love this, man.
but yeah, I mean, just trying to give my emotion to the viewer.
Yeah.
connection. That's great. You want to connect because
Yeah.
that's what I mean. As wrestling fans, I know what Eddie and I love is the storytelling, the emotion. Like we want to feel. We want to be a part of that. We want to jump up. We want to be clapping along and stuff when we're at home watching these things happen. So that's once again kudos to you on that, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
So now, okay, so Devin, let me ask you then. I know you obviously because I'm out here in Florida. I know you more so from the Florida indie scene. So my question to you is, who in the Florida indie scene do you feel has pushed you the hardest so far?
I would have to say that a trainer of mine, Chris Silvio, really, really pushed me to, if I were to send him a text right now to ask him to watch a match, he would. Um,
Mm.
he really, really pushed me in the direction of accentuating the positives, hiding the negatives, meaning that my negatives were diagnosed and cut out, and my positives were then amplified within his training facility. But not only him, there's also another local gentleman, David Mercury,
Mm.
who just really helped me learn how to wrestle within a wrestling ring. And then Connor from the Ascension taught me how to move around a ring as well. And then Victor also took a lot of time. And Victor really helped me. You don't get to see me be a heel in this area a lot, but Victor from the Ascension really taught me what it meant to be like a heel. And you see my face change, like not just haha heel, let's boom, but I mean like a mean, nasty heel. He taught me how to get that emotion out of myself to then portray to the crowd.
Wow. That's awesome.
I mean, that the Ascension. I mean, to your point, like to be able to pull that heel off, to be like, I'm gonna have everyone here hate me just by facial expressions and mannerisms and movement that's man, that's dope. That's dope.
Storytelling at its finest.
Well, that's what it is, and not even saying anything. So, all right. So, Devin, what's one mistake that you made early on in your career that you learned from, and as a result, got better from? Is there one that sticks out? Let me start with that, actually.
I mean, I don't know if I'm done making mistakes yet, but
Yeah. Well, when did you have it?
well, I could tell you that there's definitely a game in wrestling that people play, and I wasn't the best at it, and I'm still not the best at it. So I made plenty of mistakes as to not understanding political landscapes
Mhm.
of and I don't mean, I mean like job place or workplace politics.
Mhm.
Right.
You know, maybe being maybe maybe I shouldn't have been as I should have kept my confidence to myself opposed to letting everyone know that I know I'm better than all of you. So,
Okay, downplaying
and
it a little
then
bit. Okay.
in the ring probably is just like rushing moments, not milking things for giving, like rushing to the next thing too quick opposed to like really letting it sit and sink in to where like you said, you feel compelled to clap and stuff. But
Yeah.
that would be the two. But even then, like every day there, you know, uh, I watched an Al Snow, how do I put this? I watched an Al Snow shoot interview, and he said in the professional wrestling world, every day is Groundhog's Day. Well, that might be true for those in the World Wrestling Entertainment, but for us on the independents, we're dealing with a new promoter or a new locker room or a new top guy or a new trusted individual that has a title that we have to keep happy. So the game's different for us because we're not always sure what game we're playing.
Mhm.
And so, I mean, that's probably the best answer I could give you guys.
Yeah, no, I mean
No, we
that's
appreciate
great.
that, man.
Yeah, you have to be able to, it's kind of like you have to be a chameleon. You have to learn how to adapt to whatever's happening around you.
Well, you
Yeah.
should be a chameleon. I am not, but you should be.
Well, to make any headway, yeah, then I guess you should.
Yeah, yeah. Well, actually, before I jump into the next question, actually, I want to thank you for being so transparent about that because that shows that level of confidence that you've exuded so far. Like, even in showing that you're vulnerable and you could openly admit, like, hey, this isn't something that I haven't mastered, but the rules are different. And thank you for like explaining that because one of the biggest things that we like to do here on Primos for Life is just we like Ariel said, we like to pull the curtain back, but not so much because we as fans, don't need to know everything. But we do respect you and respect your grind and your time and effort to put on these amazing shows that you do. And just to be able to answer like that with such transparency, man, I want to take a pause here and thank you for that, man, because that you didn't have to, and we appreciate you for it.
Yeah.
Of course, man. Of course.
The
Yeah,
candid
man.
answer we around here goes a long way. Yeah, like
Yeah, man.
brutal honesty works. We dig it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you could be brutally honest too. I mean, we would love that too. Ariel loves that.
Well,
See, the bad thing about Ariel though is like once he like gets it, he's like, yeah, give me more, like feed me
yeah,
more, and he
yeah,
just
yeah,
eggs you
man.
on. It's
Why
like the
not?
worst.
What is this? What is happening here?
I mean, but imagine if a young guy, I get it, because imagine if a younger gentleman came in your workplace and was at that time, a year and a half, 2 years, and was already saying, I'm the best. I'm better than all of you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, you guys are like, I really don't like this kid, but
Yeah.
I didn't mind, and I still don't mind being disliked because it's not that I'm a terrible person. You just don't like me professionally, which is totally cool. But
yeah,
and I didn't get here to get. I didn't come here to be liked. I came here to get paid, and I didn't come here for friends. I came here to make it and retire my parents, and that's just the
yeah.
way it is,
Nice,
Oh,
nice.
and it
yeah.
will continue to be that way.
Yeah, yeah, no. Again, we respect that. I love that, man. That's a clip for sure. I'm throwing that on there. But all right, let me jump into the next question then. So, for our primos and primas, right? Because they want to learn about you and they want to get to know you once they, jump into this episode. What does being the dirtiest man in pro wrestling, really mean for from a character standpoint? Like, can you break that down a little bit more for us?
Yeah, well, when people ask me to describe the character in like a sentence or so, I always say, well, if I'm a heel, then I'm the guy you don't want to sit by at the bar,
Mm,
meaning the guy who's picking fights and trouble all the time.
Okay.
And then if I'm a baby face, then I'm the guy you do want to sit by at the bar. And you're a bartender, so you understand exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah. The guy who's a chummy guy. He's nice. You're chatting it up. It's cool. Or yeah, the guy who's just like screw you, muttering under his
Yeah.
breath. Yeah.
But what it means in the confines of like, let's say like booking or storytelling or something of that nature, like even though I'm a good guy, I'm still gonna pull something maybe not so ethical to win, but you're just gonna be, I get it. That's
Nah,
him. He's gotta do what he has to do. It's like the difference. I'm a big basketball, big sports fan. And so like I was watching the Bad Boys Pistons documentary,
nice.
and they were talking about Isaiah Thomas was saying whenever he got a flagrant foul or whatever, a tech, that they would be super angry with him. But if Magic did it or Larry Bird did it, then they would say, "Oh, they just have to do what they have to do to win. So
Mm.
ESPN or whatever sports publication would spin that differently.
Right.
Well, that gave me an idea to kind of start figuring out how to like it's hard to put in words, but like how to like flop that and make it different to where it's like where I cheat and you hate me, or where I cheat and you like me.
Yeah,
You know
like
what I'm saying?
controlling the narrative. Like you want to do that to make sure, like you said, I mean, if I'm watching your match and I see that you're like an every man's man kind of wrestler, and then you guys are duking it out and it's like a good long 10-minute solid match, and then you finally get an opportunity to win and take off a turnbuckle and just oops, he accidentally fell on it. Like I feel that. I'm like, yeah, no, man, you deserve that. You did all this work. I don't care. Like, you win, man. So I
I
get that.
coined the phrase like bar fight mentality because like when you're in a bar fight, whether it's the chummy guy or the guy you don't want to sit by, they're both going to fight the same to win.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah, you have to at the bar. Yeah, absolutely.
and so
Yeah.
that's
yeah.
kind of
It's like the
that's
first
kind of
bottle
my
of pool
thought
stick.
process.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
it makes sense.
I
That's
even do
wild.
a thing when I'm a baby face and I cheat to win. Like I even do like the Michael Jordan, like
Um, Shrug, nice, nice. Against Utah, yes, I remember that one. Dirty Devin Diaz, Primos for life. Question in terms of matches that you've had, what would you say your toughest matches have been, both physically and mentally, in terms of possibly like setup or just because maybe it was your first match and it was so emotional. Like, what was the toughest physically and mentally?
um the well, I mean, I wrestled Josh Woods, who's somebody who looked after me when I started. We had a connect. Josh Woods, he wrestles for Ring of Honor.
Mhm.
We had a connection right away, and we almost used to like bicker like little brother, big brother, because he was a shooter amateur, and I used to have short hair, and I kind of looked like him. So these people would call me Baby Woods as a joke and stuff. But it was emotional, because it was my birthday, and everybody that I think that night I probably sold no lie, probably 70 tickets. And, it was emotional because, my mother was there, father, aunts, uncles, old teammates, high school coaches. So it was like you wanna do a good job for them, but also Josh, like, you wanna do a good job because he's looked after you this whole time. And then also it was like 110 degrees in there. So
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so, that's probably the one that sticks out.
Uh,
Gosh, man, 110 degrees. How do you move? Oh God,
Yeah.
walking, you
I mean,
just drenched.
I don't know that to be true, but I
Well,
can
yeah,
tell you that's what it felt.
but
Yeah. Oh,
like you were
wow.
sitting there with a thermometer, like, yeah, 110, that's the read. All right.
So now, rolling into the next question. If someone were to watch you for the first time, what do you want them to take away or remember from that first watch?
I just hope that I hope my goal is that they absolutely grasp the brand from curtain to curtain to curtain or curtain last bell. That I don't want them to have to guess like what is he trying to portray. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to, I was wrestling in Indiana and I had a fan come up to me and they said right away we knew what your gimmick was, or we knew what your character was, and that was the best compliment I've ever received. And so that's kind of the goal. I just want them to understand that he's the guy you either want to sit by at the bar, don't want to sit by at the bar. You know what I'm saying? He rocks that 1980s look and even wrestles that style because that's what he likes, and feels connected to the music. I walk out to Leonard Skinnerd, you know what I
Nice.
mean? And so
Yeah.
I just want people to like grasp what I'm trying to portray.
Well, because that shows the connection. Once again, is what you're going for ultimately. If they
Yeah.
if they if they grasp it, that means you've done your job in portraying it and giving them everything you can to show that's who you are, and they picked up on it and they read it.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, fantastic. All right. Well, so working the independent scenes and just the grind that is. What's one thing that fans don't really understand about that independent grind that you've been doing?
Fans probably don't understand that the money's few and far in between. I mean, some think you make a lot of money, some think you make none. It's just few and far in between.
Mm.
And fans probably don't understand that everything on your life goes on hold. So, like, for instance, myself, I'm not a low IQ guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm a pretty smart guy.
Yeah.
My life could have progressed in different ways had I said, "Oh, I'm just not gonna wrestle anymore." But instead, I always have to constantly look for a job that gives me time off to go wrestle. Um, you know, can't really pursue, like, a family because, obviously, any chick's gonna be like, "Well, wrestling or or us, or wrestling or me."
Right.
And then, your family, like my family's pretty supportive, but they can only support you so much, you know?
Yeah.
It's just I guess they don't realize how intense the grind is, and it's a lot less it's a lot more than just driving in a car and taking bumps and or going to training and taking bumps. I mean, everything in your life is seemingly on pause to hope. Well, I don't hope, I know, but maybe others. But, to get there, to get to the top, you know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
I know that you guys, though, I feel like you guys kinda, like that's why you started this podcast because you appreciate that and you like to hear about it.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's awesome for us because a lot of people don't understand that, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And it's so important. And again, because we a lot of times when I talk to like, first time fans when I go to a show or something, I always ask like kind of the podcast questions like what got you into wrestling, all these things. And a lot of times when they see, you guys come out, they just assume that you work or like just working that show and that's it. Like that your job is done for the whole week. And what I try to get to, like, I get like defensive for you guys because I'm just like, well, no. Like, he's just booked at this show today. But I've known wrestlers that, did a show in, two towns over at 2 o'clock and then had to rush over here to get to this show and then have to fly out the next day to go up north to do another show there and then go Midwest elsewhere. You get what I'm saying? Like, you guys are really, really out there. And I think that's honestly, that's what gets us hyped because we've heard all these stories, with like Undertaker and, all those wrestlers from that time, when they were on the road constantly and all the trouble and all the fun that they had. And we like to fantasize and think that that's the case. For some, it is, but then we also realize we're not, like marks either. We understand that no, for some, it's truly a grind. And like you said, like I'm focused, I'm trying to get this money. And if I got to go, to these 4 bookings, then and they're in 4 different states, then let the games begin, and we respect that and we love that. So
And
thank you.
on top of having to keep your job.
Yeah.
What and on top of doing that, on top of having to go to 4 shows or do whatever you do, you have to go to work.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that's insane. Like the fortitude and the love that you have for what you do and the desire to be on top and make that money is just it's strong and cool. Like Teddy said, that's just like a testament to your drive,
Yeah.
Thank
which is, I
you.
guess what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Thank you. Brian Brock and Jackson Slade be my witness. We f I got off of work, I got off work at 3 AM, flew out to Dallas, uh, 6 AM, land at 9 AM,
Wow.
drove to the venue, we wrestle, we spend all night carrying on, don't even bother with the hotel room, and then sleep in the airport, land, I take a quick nap at my house, and I'm ready back at work come 7 PM that night.
Damn.
Wow.
There's
Wow,
been times
dude.
I left shows and went straight to work with the with whatever I was like, one time I came into work and we had a uniform where we had to wear camo shorts, right?
Hmm.
And so, like, one time I was running late and my manager was not having me being late because I didn't tell him that I had a show. So he didn't know, and I didn't want to because I wanted to keep the job, so I didn't want him to hit me with the wrestling or this.
Right.
And so I just said, "Hey, running 15 minutes behind, boss." I ran into work and I still had my wrestling trunks underneath my camo shorts.
Just dripping in sweat and stuff, and I'm just gonna throw these right on top. Yep, time to go to work. Clock in.
Let's get it.
I'm 15 minutes late. I got to get as fast as I can.
That kind of reminds me of like your story, like that one time, right? You were telling me that
Mm.
that you were like running late for work, and then your coworkers covered for you. They're like, "Hey, where's Ariel?" You're like,
Oh,
"Yeah, he's
yeah.
in the back. He's been in the back the
They
whole
did
time." But you
they
were,
did all like the bar setup and all the side work and stuff because I had like overslept with the alarm. And then I was sitting, they were like, "Has anyone seen Arrow?" They're like, "Oh, he's around somewhere because all of his stuff is done." And I was like, "Oh, you guys saved my ass!" Like,
Yeah. But you were like 2 hours late, I think, right? Or something
I
happened.
was a good hour and a half late. That was good.
Yeah, I mean, those are good friends right there, you know?
Did you have to double?
No, that did not have the double that day. No, that was just a late lunch for me. So,
all right, Dirty. So let's get into the next one then. We're in 2026. It's still pretty early. We want to know what's the goal, man. I mean, like, is it more traveling? Is it more indie shows? Is it a tryout? Is it a dark match? Like, what's on this list for 2026? Like, you are so focused and so on point right now. What is the thing that you're going to tell the Primos? Hey, I'm going to accomplish this by the end of this year. Mark my words.
I would say if you were to ask me what I'm gonna accomplish is that I'll probably end up just being more popular in the wrestling world each month as it progresses. But if you were to ask me like what I'm absolutely striving for, now I want to preface this. I would wrestle for MLW. I have wrestled for MLW. I'd wrestle for NWA. I'd wrestle for AEW, New Japan. I mean, those are all places that pay me. I'd love to go there. But, the number one goal is to go to the WWE. And I have respect for every other company, but that's just the goal. And so, I mean, that's what I'd like to accomplish, and that's what I strive for every day when I get up. I don't strive to be the best on the independents. I strive to be the best in WWE. And I don't even strive for to be the best. I just strive to be the best. Plain and simple. Like, I don't think about like dream matches, and stuff like that. I think about like what people would say about my work when it's all said and done, and how they say like, he was the most hated heel or, such a lovable baby face, whatever that may be. But I just run random clips in my head. That's what I make up of people saying stuff and what will be, my legacy, to be honest, what I'll leave behind.
Nice. I mean, that's all you can leave behind, right? At the end of the day, this is, can't take the cash with you, can't take anything with you, but the person you are.
But I do plan on making a lot of cash, brother.
Well, yeah. Naturally,
I mean, for sure.
All right, so I'm going to throw a little side question at you real fast. So let's say tomorrow you book a show, right? Or you're in a show tomorrow, and they tell you have to tag with such and such. Dirty Devin Diaz, as currently constituted. Is he going to carry that partner to the win, or is he going to turn on him and walk out?
If it's not one of my boys, I'd probably turn on him and walk out.
That's the answer I was hoping for. That's the one I was hoping for. See,
it's like, as a fan, I was like, ooh, but then, I was like, yeah.
I would be mad. Like, I had nothing to do with this guy, man. I'm leaving me, man.
All right. So I got one. I got a curveball then. How about this? Being in honor of the dirty part of Dirty Devin Diaz, what is the dirtiest thing that you've ever done in a match that you can publicly admit? I mean, what comes to mind?
Oh man, dirtiest thing I've ever done in a match. Let's see. Well, I got two things that come to mind.
Oh,
nice. But he's leaning back because they're settling for this one.
Well, I mean, like at POW, I went and like my boys were in an absolute bloodbath.
Yeah.
And I went and slid in and pushed Romeo Quevedo off the top for him to take a bump into the 6 chairs, which I'm glad he did it because I wasn't about to do it. Nice. And but there was also a match one time where like I was wrestling somebody and they went for some move that I don't really know the name of. I move out the way, they hit themselves, they crotch themselves, hit themselves on the turnbuckle, and then they fall down to where their head's like, so they're basically laid across all 3 turnbuckles. Mm-hmm. And I grabbed him by his hair and I said, I'm gonna kiss him on the forehead just because I feel like it. And I did it, and I hit him in the balls, and he had like a he had like a karate gimmick, right? Uh-huh. And so then I started doing like karate hand signals to the crowd.
No, well, I just love that he kissed him beforehand. Like, you know what? Yeah. And now take this. And yeah, no. Nice.
Nice,
pretty dirty. That's pretty dirty. That's pretty dirty. All right, Devin. Well, we're at the end here with the end of the bottom half of our staple question sandwich. You said that you don't really think about dream matches, and that's generally where we tend to go. So with respect to the fact that you don't think about dream matches, let's say, who is someone that you think you would have an absolute banger of a match with from back in the day, from when you were growing up watching? Like, who do you think their wrestling style and your wrestling style would put on just a fantastic match?
Well, not even back in the day, but when people force it out, I mean, say who would be my dream match, I always say Harley Race.
Mm.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Wow.
Wow, yes. That's tough, man, because you're a young dude. So for you to throw out Harley Race, yeah, kudos to you, sir. Kudos to you. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
mean, that's like wow, that's like an all-time legend right there. Okay,
Okay.
but then I mean, I'm gonna try. You don't have to answer, but I'm just gonna try. But
Ah, man,
then,
come on, man. Come on. He
but
just told
like,
you what it was.
but I'm just saying, like, if you did, get signed in any of these promotions, active roster right now. Is there somebody that you want to get your hands on because you know that you guys would put on like a 5-star match in any promotion, like any WWE, AEW, New Japan, TNA, MLW?
I always thought that me tagging with The Miz would be awesome.
Really?
All
Wow. That's
right.
such a like, yeah.
Well, I mean, as confident as he is, and the Miz being the Miz,
Yeah.
that would be pretty fun.
I think he's
Yeah.
one of the best in the company right now. I mean,
Yeah.
so I'm a
He
big
is
Sami
though.
Zayn fan as well.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. So side question then real quick, right? Because we've been talking about this for like the last couple of weeks. I mean, is it the right move from a pro standpoint, from a, storytelling standpoint? Do you feel like it would be a good idea for him to go heel and win the championship? Go that route?
Sami Zayn?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I mean, he, I know he had the one heel run. There's nothing he's done that I haven't enjoyed.
Right.
But I mean, looking up and down the card, I think that it would be beneficial. Probably it'd be beneficial for the company to have somebody as talented as him. Because right now, I can't think of any really hot heels.
Right.
You know, so like, I mean, I think that he would have the ability to be one of the probably hottest heels in the company and really
Oof.
draw real heat. I mean,
Yeah.
I would have to say that, I don't like critiquing those guys' work because why
Yeah.
did I get in this business?
Right.
Money, and they make more money than me. So I
Right.
don't like critiquing. I don't really do that.
Right.
But I mean, other than Gunther, I can't really think of a super hot heel. So I think that he would do a really good job at it. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, good. We
Okay.
got your support on that one then, because sometimes we just like sometimes we as fans will like spitball these ideas, and then some, when you hear it back, and I was like, man, that's a stupid idea. They're not gonna do that. But then as a fan, you want that because he's been the good guy for so long and he gets pushed around, and it's like all we need is Kevin Owens to come back and whisper in his ear and be like, I was right. Be the bad guy that I know you could be. And then finally it happens, and then they just wreak havoc. And but this is why, as fans, we just go crazy with it because we just, But I
Fantasy
digress.
booking. Fantasy booking.
Yeah. Bueno, Dirty Devin Diaz, I just want to go ahead and take this opportunity to once again truly, truly thank you for your time and your excellent presentation on this conversation because I think that's the other part that we enjoy about having these conversations and having these interviews. Is like you never know what to expect and you never know what we're gonna walk into. And to be honest with you, like your responses and your frame of thought and the way you think as far as the business, as far as storytelling, as far as booking. I mean, to be able to peel back that layer and have our primos and primas learn that about you and have us learn that about you, brother, we truly, truly appreciate it, man. Like you have no idea, man, for real.
Absolutely.
I want to thank the
Absolutely.
both of you for having me, man. This means a lot. I really appreciate it.
Man,
Yeah, man.
you're well, as I said, for the time you've given us and for the representation that you give, because that's another thing. We love representation and all that stuff. So to be out there and working hard, doing the thing, and being as positive and as focused as you are, it's only a matter of time, my man. Only a matter of time. Like you said, every month, more and more popularity. I see it coming for you, brother, and I feel it. So once again,
Thank you, man.
wholeheartedly, man. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you so very much for taking some of
Welcome.
your time and being with us, man. Hey, listen, if you ever want to come back, do a little more talking, go over some WWE shows or something like that, please feel free. You are now an official Primo for life.
Yeah.
So this door is always open to you, man. Whenever you want, please let us know. And I can't wait to come down to Florida to visit Eddie and come check you out, man. I'm looking forward to it.
You got to come on down, man.
Yeah, for
I will,
I'm
sure.
man.
on
I'm working
fire.
on
You
it.
got to come on down.
Yeah, for sure, man. Those
Fantastic.
POW shows are crazy. You guys, oh my gosh, you guys do an awesome job. But please, we want to give you the opportunity to take this moment to go ahead and let our primos and primas know where they could find you, where they could reach out to you. If anybody is trying to break into the business, like how they could reach you, or all your social media and anything that you have on like YouTube. If I'm trying to present this to my buddy Mark and I'm like, hey Mark, you need to watch this match. You need to go on YouTube and search this. Please, the floor is yours. Share it. Let everybody know.
Absolutely. So you can find me at Dirty Devin Diaz on Instagram. I'm Devin Diaz on Facebook, and I'm at Dirty Devin Diaz on Twitter, which is now X. I still haven't got used to calling it X.
Still Twitter
No
here.
one
You're
has.
good.
If there's any match, I would say any match of mine is a good match to watch because I go
Hey.
out there and do my best no matter what. As for upcoming dates, I got plenty coming up. This Saturday, I will be in Sebring. I'll be wrestling for Florida Pro Wrestling, and me and my boys. Well, my boy Brian Brock, he holds the heavyweight title, but myself, I just lost it to Rich Port Ayala. I just
Mhm.
lost the open weight title, but me and my buddy Jackson Slade will be tagged up. And then moving on, I'm booked all throughout March. I post it all the time, but I also know for those of you in Orlando, you can come see me at Will's Pub on the 14th. And then, just keep posting all my bookings. It's hard to remember. I should be more organized with them, but I
You're
post
good.
them as they come.
You post them. It's fine. And you told us where to find you. So that's duly noted and well
Absolutely.
done.
Yeah, man. And
Absolutely.
also, I mean, any posting that you do, feel free to like tag us. We'll be more than happy to reshare, get the word
Yeah,
out.
we'll share, retweet,
Yeah, like Ariel said, you're an official primo, and once you've become family, we put it all out. I mean, I don't know if you noticed that, but any primo or prima that we've had on the show, it's like once they've been on, bah, 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 we just push it. Actually, for a deep cut, for anyone that is really paying attention, I usually foreshadow someone that's gonna come on the show when you start seeing me post more of their stuff out there. So, little secret for
Easter
everybody.
egg.
Ooh, hey, no,
That's awesome, man.
but yeah, brother. Like again, thank you so much. You are the best. I can't wait to see you work next.
Thank you.
And I like Ariel said, we would love to have you back. It'd be awesome to get like a year-end conversation to see, where the dirty Devin Diaz is at that point in time, brother. For sure.
Absolutely. I want to thank you guys, man, because I know that. So my mother's family's from Spain and my dad's family's from PR, right? So my
Mhm.
dad's from Vieques. My mom's families have been in Tampa for about 4 generations, but they're from Spain. So I don't really necessarily like I get told all the time, you don't act Puerto Rican or you don't look Puerto Rican or whatever. But for you guys welcoming in, I really appreciate that because that's the most tiresome thing to hear because I don't know how people expect me to act or what they want me to do.
Right.
Mhm.
But I mean, come on now. I'm
Yeah.
proud of my culture. I just am who I am, so it means a
Right.
lot. Thank you guys.
Yeah, oh man, absolutely.
Yeah.
Familia's familia, brother, and you got it here, man. And Eddie said it. Once you're here, we got you. Our hooks are in you. You done, man.
Yeah.
Like you primo for life, literally.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
guys so much.
And my bad. I mean, just to further expand on that, because you made a very, very good point, right? But that's what we try to do, man. We don't want you know, our listeners or anybody that's getting into wrestling to just pigeonhole, like Ariel says this all the time, like pigeonhole Latinos into a category. Like we're more than just Boricuas and just luchadors. You know what I mean? Like you could be punk rock, you could be, American, you could be, like Latino American, South American, whatever you want to bring out and amp up to the next level. I mean, we love and respect that. And that's why I'm happy that you said what you said, because you're right. We knew that. We know you're Latino. We know you're a primo, pero you are who you are, and we still love and respect you for that, brother. So
I appreciate that. Thank you, man.
Absolutely,
yeah, man.
No
Okay,
problem.
I'll start babbling, like blabbling around, because then I'll just get all emotional and stuff. But
You can start
Devin,
crying soon. We got to cut it because you start crying.
but Devin, you are the man. Much love. I will see you soon, brother. For real.
Much love,
Gracias,
gentlemen.
Devin.
Thank you.
Gracias. Thank you, brother. You the man.
Take care,
Yep.
man. All right, man. Okay. I like that a lot. I like the way he presents himself. I like the way he answered a lot of the questions. He's so he's smooth with it, and he's very clean cut. And it was a side that I wasn't expecting to see, and I'm really grateful that we were able to get that from Devin tonight. For real.
Well, you could tell just how intelligent he is.
Yeah.
and just how well he can grasp and read situations and rooms and different things like that. Like that definitely came out, which is why I think we got the answers we did, because he can read a room and he can read situations. And for him, he can just cut it down to the bottom line, no pun intended, Steve Austin. But
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that everyone can take away and will learn from this is, and once again, to the point of, this isn't just someone who's a big oaf in the ring who takes bumps and that's it. No, you can see the intelligence level on this young man, and it's fantastic. So, yeah, kudos to him, man. I like that dude. He's really, really dope, man. I can't wait to see him live.
Yeah, bro. And then, and just to further take it to that next comment that you said, um, that level of intelligence is not just like on a personal level, but you could see that transmitted in his work as well. I mean,
Right.
for someone of that level to be that critical about his presentation when he comes out, like he said, from curtain to curtain, curtain to bell, whether he's the heel or a babyface, he convinces you. He pulls on the heartstrings and makes you love him or hate him, whatever angle he's working. And I think that's what makes him such an extraordinary wrestler on the current independent scene now. I mean, I understand now why Rose was like, yeah, this dude is going to be the future, because he's right. The way he works is next level. And I know you could agree with this. I really do hope, one of these major promotions pick him up, because he's that good.
Yeah, all it takes is one set of eyes for many of these promotions. It's all it takes, one set of eyes. So hopefully it lands on him soon, because he's a good dude, and I just dig his work ethic and how hard he's going after this. So
yeah, we can respect that. We can respect that. But okay, Primo. Well, let's go ahead and take this time now to thank all of our primos and primas and our listeners for liking and loving and rolling with us. And we definitely want to share this part of a celebration, right? Because by the time this episode comes out, it would have already happened. But we just hit over 1,000 followers on Instagram, man. Like,
that's unbelievable,
bro.
I can't. Thank you all so much. 1,000 is crazy. Like when you sent me that pic, man, I was like, I showed Amanda. I was like, this what? Like this doesn't seem real, man. And we couldn't do it without you guys.
Yeah,
this is all the primos and the primas. This has nothing to do with Eddie and me. We're just two guys who love wrestling and just wanted to chat about it. But to be able to get the following we have, and the retweets and the reshares of the Instagram stories and stuff like that, man, de verdad, gracias a todos, man. Like we really appreciate and love every single one of you. And as I always say, we love the ride. It's better when you're on with us. And now we know that you are like hardcore.
Yeah.
So thank you to all 1,000 plus, and anyone else that wants to come on. You go to primosforlife.com, and then what do you do when you get there, Ed?
Smash the like button, the follow button, the subscribe button, any button that connects you and links you to us. There's even an email on there. Please feel free to reach out with episode topics. If you want to jump on, just let us know ahead of time. We'll send out a link and we'll do a quick test run, and we'll make sure all your equipment's working, and then we'll have fun. Let's just talk about WrestleMania and AEW and all these other things that are going on, because wrestling is the one thing that brings us all together, and we love you all for it. And we love wrestling. And Primo, I love you, man.
I love you too, man. I love you too. This is awesome. This was a great interview, great show. With with that being said, I think all I can do is just about wrap it up and just say thank you to everybody for listening. Thank you to Dirty Devin Diaz for an absolutely fantastic and candid interview. We truly appreciate it and love you, brother. Thank you kindly. And to the rest of our primos and primas, we will see you when we see you.
Yeah, we will see you when we see you. Take care, everyone.
Good night.